This Hour Has 22 Minutes is a satirical examination of daily events. Some viewers may not share this sense of humor.
Don't pay any attention to that. This Hour Has 22 Minutes is an accurate portrayal of the week's events. It is the real news.
Good evening. Jacques Parizeau says that as the head of state in New France, he must have an elite security force fit for a king.
Those who want to be on the elite force and wear the coveted black garbage bag must undergo a series of grueling tests. The first being the ability to stare at images of Parizeau for long periods of time without blinking. Many failed the first round.
Among other skills required of the force are superior foot-rubbing techniques, experience with bunion pad applications, and a keen eye when shopping for the Emperor's new clothes.
Via Rail proudly displayed its new rolling stock last week.
The state-of-the-art air-conditioned cars purchased from the Mexican Railway Company are set to go on stream next summer in the heavily traveled Windsor-Quebec City corridor.
Canadians are showing their faith in Via Rail's new choice of passenger train. Airline bookings for next summer have never been higher.
American President Bill Clinton held a press conference last weekend where he presented the newest addition to his cabinet. The new face on Capitol Hill is from Oklahoma and has a 23-year history in the field of agriculture. He has worked hard for poultry rights and the banning of feather pillows. Most recently, he has lobbied for large subsidies to the Pork Marketing Board. President Clinton admitted that he had eaten turkey in the past, but he insisted that he didn't digest.
Prime Minister Jean Chrétien was rushed to the Ottawa Civic Hospital today for treatment of what doctors describe as a classic case of binging. Within the space of 2 days, he crammed Liberal godfather Romeo Leblanc into the Governor-General's chair and stuffed former Liberals Jean-Robert Gaultier and John Bryden into the Senate. Tories in Mulrooney-fed patronage positions are nervous because, as everyone knows, a classic case of binging is almost always followed by an ugly mess of purging.
The waters off the coast of Nova Scotia were a blast last week. The Canadian Navy intentionally detonated a bomb the size of a telephone booth to test the hull strength of the HMCS Halifax, a Navy warship. Today, another bomb, another test. We go live to the deck of the Halifax where Corporal Lance Mickey and Petty Officer Wishy Grimes are overseeing the explosion.
Hello, Sydney, sir. Glad to be here, sir.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Why the second test?
Well, the first test involved about 10,000 pounds of dynamite. This one involves 100,000 pounds of dynamite.
Well, this sounds like dangerous work.
Well, if it was dangerous or stupid, the Navy wouldn't do it in the first place now, would they, Sydney, sir?
But why? Why drop a bomb in the water next to a brand new multi-million-dollar ship?
Well, if our 6 months in the Navy has taught us anything, Sydney, it is that the Navy likes to blow things up.
Well, how many men are on board?
Oh, just the two of us. They came around and asked for volunteers, and they said there was all you could eat.
Because this explosion is at sea, there's been some concern about sea life.
Well, actually, the Navy has spent upwards of $2 million studying the impact of the massive explosion on sea life, whales in particular.
Oh, well, that's a relief. What were the results?
Well, it killed all the whales.
Now, look at the time. We've got to drop a bomb now. Okay, Sydney, you give us the count backwards from 10.
No, 5.
No, the book says 10.
No, it doesn't. It says 5.
Split the difference, 3.
Okay, Sydney, 3.
3 is good, Sydney.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Let me just get something for you to sign.
Coming up on our magazine, Up Close and Personal with Federal Justice Minister Alan Rock.
22 minutes from Justice Minister Rock would be great. Of
Great,
course,
there you are.
thanks very much. And we'll be auctioning off copies of Hashish, A Smuggler's Tale, autographed by the Justice Minister in the near future. Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Well, she might represent 52% of the population, but she's 100% Babe. Here's Babe Bennett.
Well, get a load of this. Over in Sweden, 41% of the people in Parliament are of the female persuasion. Why, that's almost half. Equal. Even Stephanie. Well, I guess those Swedish folks have the meatballs to give a gal her due. In this country, dames make up a paltry 18% of the parliamentarians. Of course, over in Sweden, they have a deluxe daycare system, so a gal can go to work without taking out a second mortgage. But it's more than that. What is it about a gal with gumption that makes a fella run for cover? I think it all goes back to when we were running around naked eating with our hands. And I'm not talking about last Saturday night at my place either. Oh, I know, way back when we made those great big hairy-chested lugs feel like they alone were in charge of the rock pile. We stroked their fur and picked thorns out of their paws and made them feel superior. Well, anything to get them out of the cave so we could talk. Well, trouble is they bought it, and now they won't give it up. Well, us gals are still 52% of the population. And if a few more of us ran for office and the rest of us voted for them, why, there just might be a few new bathrooms in the boys' club after all. Hey, wait a minute, he says. I can't work for a dame. She's too emotional. It's her time of the month. Why, she might go berserk under pressure. Why, don't worry, little man. We wouldn't lose our marbles and take away your vote or nothing. Or burn you at the stake. Or make you stay home and wash our unmentionables while you're stuffing a chicken. Now, that would be really crazy. No, we just want equal representation, I guess. I know. We'd call it democracy. Oh, come on, boys. Play fair. The change is coming anyway, because some of us, about 52%, ain't going back to the cave. No, sirree. No, thank you. Not on your life.
Scientists in Germany have discovered a new element. The soon-to-be-named element took 10 years to discover and flickered into existence for less than 1,000th of a second. The most popular suggestion for the name so far? Kim Campbell.
Ingvar Kamprad, the 68-year-old founder of IKEA Furniture, has acknowledged his links to the Nazi movement. The allegations surfaced with the recent release of IKEA's 1994 Christmas wish book. The catalog featured the Master Race reversible futon cover and the easy-to-assemble First Poland and Then the World wine rack.
Well, look at her. She's on top of the world, Ma. Here's Marg Delahunty.
Hi, I'm Marg Delahunty. Well, there I was one morning last week, jarred up next to the radio, partaking of that most Canadian of Canadian activities, listening to Morningside. Now, normally when I find myself in that position, I'm in a red rage, listening to the host's pygmy-like hoots of appreciation as he disappears deeper and deeper into the large intestinal tract of whatever Canadian luminary he happens to be paying obeisance to that particular morning. But the story of the little 21-year-old out in Edmonton that they got locked up, maybe forever, because she's a dangerous offender, oh, well, it sent me into a state of fear and swirling panic. Oh, it's not good enough that in this country, if you're a woman, you're under a permanent curfew. You're not allowed out after dark. Now, if you're a woman who's angry and somewhat violent, there's every possibility they're going to lock you up and throw away the key. Oh, let's normal right up here. I have dated guys with longer rap sheets than Lisa Neves. If she was a fella, Canada, she would have copped an insanity plea like that, by reason of being shellacked on the booze or snapped out of her tree on cocaine. One of the reasons, besides the fact that she uttered threats and escaped from juvenile hall, that the judge deemed Lisa Neves one of only 111 most dangerous threats to Canadian society, was because of her attitude. He said she had a cruel, callous, and sadistic attitude. She's doing life because of her attitude? Oh, that really gives me the jumps because, let's face it, my attitude has never been what you might call good. That was the first thing they always wrote on my report card, and it's on my permanent record, too. I'm just going to get right into this bed, and I'm not going to get out of it either. Oh, I could kill for a cigarette now. I mean, I could stamp my tiny, well-turned foot, toss my curls, and shrilly shriek in a girlish way for a smoke. I'm not dangerous. Man on the top, woman on the bottom, that's great by me. I've never even dreamt of it being any different. Oh, sweet Jesu, and the big one. Now I'm after being cold, cruel, and maybe even sadistic to poor old Peter Zosky.
Jacques Parizeau couldn't go to China with Team Canada. He was afraid, see? Someone would see him there, think he was a Canadian. But the minute they got back, kaboom! He's out on the road with his own trip. Team Jacques. First stop, Toronto. Now, Canadian premiers go to Toronto all the time. They talk to Bob Rae, they get good seats to Miss Saigon, no big deal. But Jacques Parizeau doesn't. Whoa, look out! He's a full-fledged visiting dignitary. And if Quebec ever separates, it's only going to get worse. It's like, say there's 10 brothers and sisters. One of them says, I'm moving out. The rest say, good, we want your room. But they never really move out, do they? They keep their key. They let themselves in. They do their laundry. They run up the phone bill. They borrow the car. They drink the milk and put the empty container back inside the fridge. If Quebec separates, the very first thing they're going to want to do is come over and visit us. They're going to be like our next-door neighbors, but with an Amway catalog. Hi, how are you? Sorry it worked out this way. Let's start a carpool. Can we use your currency? Let's share an army. It's very important that we keep Quebec inside the family. That way, see, we can keep treating each other like dirt. We can yell, scream, get mad at each other, make up, and do it all over again. You see, that's what families are all about. You pull that stuff with your neighbors, you're going to be in court for the rest of your life.
The greatest public relations exercise ever. The sensationally surreal marriage of Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley is purported to be on the rocks. Oh, too bad. We had such hopes for them. They were even touted in the American press as America's own Wendy and Peter Pan. But of course, Wendy was a real live girl, and Peter Pan was, well, a fairy who kept a bunch of lost boys in a place called Never Neverland.
There was a daring robbery at the Edmonton racetrack last weekend. Thieves made off with a substantial amount of money. The police have released sketches of the 3 suspects, all of them white males, medium height, medium build. The public is being asked to help with any information, but there's really no rush. What are you all looking at?
As most Canadians know by now, Romeo LeBlanc was not Prime Minister Chrétien's first choice for Governor General. The job, which pays $97,000 a year tax-free, plus free travel and 2 official residences, was turned down by former NHL Hall of Famer John Beliveau. When asked why Beliveau refused the appointment, Chrétien cited the fact that when he was playing hockey, Beliveau never wore a helmet.
Well, first there were the Dion quintuplets, then the Forgy 5. And now, the This Hour has 22 minutes crack investigative team has discovered the Quinlan Quints. We join them now in their home. So, you're Canada's 3rd set of quints.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
We're the Quints.
Oh, yeah, Canada's third set of quints.
Yeah, the unknown quints.
Yeah, we are the 5 precious little miracles who, up until this point, have failed utterly to capture the world's attention.
Yeah. We were never taken advantage of, right?
No, but we're quints and we're desperately seeking a big house like the Dion's got.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And endorsements.
We'll endorse anything.
No, not anything.
Well, almost anything.
Yeah.
If you are quints, aren't there supposed to be 5 of you?
Yeah. We know that.
Yeah, we know that.
Where's the missing quint?
Missing.
Okay, then what about your parents?
They died.
Dave Edness.
Yeah, first they abandoned us and then they died.
Right. And we were reared up by wolves. Canadian wolves.
Where exactly were you reared up by these wolves?
Around.
Yeah, and about. Around the boat.
Yeah, and we speak wolf, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is a fantastic, almost unbelievable story. You know, I'd really like to meet that other quint.
Yeah. I'll go see if I can find him then.
Now, the 5 little Quints didn't mean nothing to the wolves where they were used to litters.
Yeah.
No, none of them.
Are you looking for me?
You know, it's funny. You look identical to the brother that just left, and you're dressed exactly the same.
Yeah, we're twins. Twins. Except he wears different glasses. I wear with different glasses and a comedy nose.
Are you 4 related at all?
No.
No.
Well, he's cousin.
And I'm me, so I'm really close to that other one.
What drove you to this?
A station wagon that we rented from the rent-a-wreck.
$1 million babies, boy.
Yeah, we were glued to the set.
Yeah, part 1 anyway.
It was a pretty good idea, though, wasn't it?
Lighten up, JB. 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Well, while you may not be quintuplets, you can rest assured that now all of Canada will view you as freaks.
Yeah! The 4 freaks!
Winter hasn't arrived in your neck of the woods yet. It's just around the corner. So let's check in with this hour's very own weather girl, Mrs. Enid.
Oh my, the weather. So unpredictable. It's going to be a hard one if my bunions are anything to go by. And although the sales are not on yet, you want to get a good warm coat. Because, oh my, Moody, you'd want to be a swami now to take a stab at the temperature. And the forecast is anyone's guess. So start layering, and don't be ashamed to wear a good snug hat, no matter how stupid you feel. Because although 'tis sunny enough, I wouldn't stick my tongue on a steel bridge yet. You know what I mean? Because the deep frost is coming. You can smell it. And you want a good pair of gloves, too. And if you're a senior, you should have plenty of those, because that now and soap is all they ever give Nan. What did I get Nan? She'll get her a bit of soap. And when are they going to realize that Yardley's is passé? And you better watch out, too, and you better not shout, because you know who was on the lookout, finding out who's been naughty, etc., and I'm working for him this year, so watch it. Oh, my, this is a good time to get out, when you can still shuffle along without freezing in mid-waddle. I love to stop into the sweet shop, as you know. And the little one down there always puts her 2 cents worth in. She's hoping to get discovered, see? She wants to take over my job. Oh, my, Mrs. Enid. Cold today, bit of a westerly. Oh, my, the hoity-toity weather term she gets on her. If it was a westerly, sure. Wouldn't there be more chickadees and grosbeaks at the feeder? I shoot back, knowing that when it comes to birding, I've got her snuffed. Oh, the sunsets over the park are breathtaking these days. Of course, putting on my gaiters now is breathtaking to me. Oh, 'twould break your heart, though, to see the trees all gone bare again, what? Although if they weren't, you'd freak right out. You'd think there was something awfully wrong with the world. had a peppermint knob in here. Oh, a bit of bird. Oh, the birdies. Come here, my darling. Come here, my darling. Look what Nan got for you. A little bit of bird seed. Look. Oh, no, don't be frightened. Oh, they're lovely.
Researchers in Britain continue to study the effect of the antidepressant drug Prozac on rats. The good news is that when rats are given Prozac, they become more assertive and confident. The bad news is they're still rats.
Barbie turns 35 this year, and apparently she's not taking it too well. Sources say she has been in therapy for the past few months where she is trying to recover memories of a childhood she never had. And it doesn't look like there's any end in sight to this tragic story. Ken, her longtime companion, is in court this month, battling his manufacturer over their promise that he would have genitals on the outside of his body by 1994.
CN President Paul Tellier says that he has no idea how Canadian National lost $1 billion in 1992. He says that he does know that they loaned him $432,000 interest-free that year, plus he received a $350,000 salary with $50,000 in additional compensation, not including his $40,000 housing allowance and $14,000 in pension contributions. But he is quick to point out that his take only adds up to just under $1 million. Where the rest of the money went is anybody's guess.
Well, that's the way we saw the world this week. For all of us here at This Hour Has 22 Minutes, I'm Molly Maguire saying congratulations to head coach Dave Ritchie and the BC Lions for their victory in the Grey Cup. I shudder to think what would have been left of this country's morale if that cup was lost to Baltimore. That was a very close call, gentlemen. We must always be on guard. Good night. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard. I'm Sedgwick Twig in Vancouver, just trying to suss out some sustenance. I'm a member of the deep ecology movement, and my own personal ecosystem couldn't sustain any further drive-by eatings at McDonald's. In Vancouver, Macmillan Blodell, like everyone was calling them McBlow, and I thought that it was some new kind of designer crack franchise, but no. Like they're a multinational corporation who's practicing clear cutting and breaking unions and putting people out of work, and their attitude is really getting people down out here. But so, hey, you're out of work. I mean, wouldn't it be beautiful to just kick back and do nothing and then rest afterwards? If you're feeling confused, that's okay. Your feelings are a gift. And this report is not sequential. It exists outside the realm of regular linear reality.